Hello, Jewel. I want to ask, what is your favorite color? Such a stupid question. Ask me something logical and matured. Okay. I'm not certain of the answer to this. Would anybody else be? Sort your pathetic admins out already. Hello, you were banned from editing Wikipedia for abusing alternative accounts with malicious intent, confirmed by a trained set of personnel called check users. You are allowed to have alternative accounts, but not to avoid a block. Ooh, suck it, I guess. Don't be afraid to be yourself. You cover your face with a giant marshmallow. That is, that's, literally have never met an American who flexes their European ancestry. Most of us just think of it like a fun fact. Bro, I'm Irish and I see Americans all the time flexing how they're Irish, yet can't even point to where it is on a map. Yeah, I'm not Irish. I have no idea where. No, I think I know where I'm from. I think I'm mostly Swedish, a little bit of Norwegian. No Finnish though, unfortunately. I'm sorry, folks. This is what I get for trying to facilitate a bond between my dad and my boyfriend. Blank likes monkeys, and I told him you like monkeys, so I think you two should talk about monkeys together. We talk about you all the time. Damn, okay. What is NFT? Beanie Babies for dudes who get mad when there's a black woman in Star Wars. Bravo. I think that's the best way it's ever been put. I want Tim Curry to have a larger catalog, damn it. Okay. Sir, I have appeared in over 230 television and film productions, acted in 25 large-scale theater shows, recorded 4 music albums, lent my voice to over 50 audiobooks, many pushing 10+ hours in length, and seduced many humans in my 72 years. Please, I had to sleep now and again. I love the Twitter account, Not the Tim Curry. I do not believe that Tim Curry is actually on Twitter, so this is just weird to me. I hope Reddit isn't a good representation of modern wrestling fans because, and I mean no offense by this, you kids are all kind of pussies. You know, I'm in the habit of taking a glance at the profile of the person before I decide to reply. Helps weed out the psychos. Did you seriously comment about people here being pussies right after visiting and commenting on r/cuckold? Ouch. Why do we kink shame cuckold so much? Why do we do that? What is it with that one? What's the deal? Consenting adults should be allowed to do what consenting adults want to do, man. You do fucking you. I don't give a shit. I'm 127 pounds, blonde, pretty, and single. I feel so fucking insulted right now. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with having high self-esteem, but having to put others down to feel better about yourself is pathetic as and shows you're actually very insecure. Ain't that the truth? Ever wonder what happens behind the scenes when you shop at Amazon? Book a free tour now! Do we get to see workers peeing into bottles? That's gotta be part of an exhibit, right? Free penicillin! I'm not from the US, so it's free anyways. Ow. May God forgive Harry and Meghan for causing the Queen so much pain, for I never shall, says the woman who was shagging Boris Johnson of all people behind his wife's back. Voting closes in Conservative leadership contest that decides UK's next Prime Minister. Like picking which bollock to be kicked in. You know, it goes back to the old South Park episode, douche versus a turd sandwich. Somebody born in 2020 will see the year 3000 when they're 80. That's wild. This is the person playing the game in app ads. Thank you for that one. When Ned Stark died in the books, made me realize George R.R. Martin wasn't going to pull punches. It was only later that I realized he was more afraid of finishing a story. I think he liked killing characters so much he forgot he needed them for the plot. Yeah, everybody always said, it's great. I love the show because no one is safe. At any given moment, you can lose a mainstay character. And sure, I get that. I understand that. But when that is really the main appeal of the show, and I've watched the whole thing, and honest to God, that's what so many people would jump to when they were talking about the show was, I just love that. I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't really like a show that kills everybody the hell off. That's not really fun to watch, no matter how realistic it may be in this setting or whatever you want to call it. Whatever, man. We are goofing with each other for a while. Just a funny clip, but believe me, I definitely would have shot had it been totally random LOL. Did you skip English period in school? No, I passed. Did you skip school altogether because you got bullied a lot and now only feel powerful by trying to belittle random people on the internet? Well, probably. What's the process of getting divorced to your Norwegian partner, or where can I find it? The first result on Google when Googling divorce Norway. Was problem solving one of the reasons your marriage failed? F***ing hell, man. Always someone without a real profile photo. Get a life. Not everyone's proud of being a solid 4 out of 10 like you. Jesus, man, come on. You've got an evil rarity photo. Someone was gonna take the piss out of you at least a little bit, man. Not every job should have a living wage. That's not healthy for society. It's not healthy for someone making ice cream cones at Dairy Queen to make enough to live off of. You want a society that actually can't live off these jobs. So, how are those working these jobs meant to live? And more importantly, how will I get ice cream at Dairy Queen when all the people working for them died? You can't say that a job is necessary by, you do that by going to that place and buying ice cream and doing this and doing that. You are using your wallet to say that this is a necessary job. I want ice cream. I can go to Dairy Queen. There are people working there, and they will give me the ice cream for the money that I pay, right? You can't simultaneously say that these jobs are necessary and then say that people don't deserve to live and survive. You know what? They're surviving, but that's not what living is. That's not living. You can't say this. You can't f***ing say this, man. I taught my son that the world is flat, and now school is telling him it is round, and he's questioning which is real now. How should I encourage him not to believe everything he hears? The problem is your son now faces the issue of realizing at least one of his parents is a moron. He has to realize that. Though he loves you, he can't trust you to be correct about any questions he asks. That's hard for him. The more you push your idiocy on him, the angrier and more frustrated he will get. Hear, hear. It was the worst experience ever. The staff is completely unfriendly, the room was very untidy, and they have very poor services. You'd find spider nets even in the room, and nobody would care to hear you. What? Even the basic facilities, such as water, light, etc., wouldn't be taken care of. You'd be mistaken if you come to this property by looking at the old ratings. Okay, let's see what the owner has to say. Dear guest, thank you for your feedback, and I'm extremely sorry to hear that we've not taken any care of you. You stayed at our resort for 3 days, and on the first you vomited on the bed and pillows, and our room boy had cleaned everything. We cared for you. And at the time of checkout, when we charged you for bed sheets and pillows, which we thrown out because of you, and you had given such negative reviews. If my resort is that bad and dirty, then how did you stayed for 3 days? Is this one for frickin' real? Like, is this... Like, I understand how this could constitute, being destroyed by words, right? Or murdered by words in this case. But that shit's really hard to read. I'll just chalk it up to English not being your primary language, in which case it's A-okay, but still it's not quite as fun and own if it's that hard to read. So, my body, my choice. Except for when it comes to student loan debt, that's when someone else should step in. Someone needs to check on Kevin Sorbo. He probably dislocated something trying to reach this far. He's just mad he's not really anything anymore and never really made it. I mean, wait, who did he play? Was he Conan the Barbarian or something? Or no, Hercules. No, who gives a shit? That's the one. All right, homegirl, leave him. That's my girlfriend. I just preached my first sermon. She recorded it and wanted me to watch what she recorded. Thanks. Yeah, this right here is a prime example of not minding your own business. As long as they sit an extra week later in the year so that business is not interrupted, I don't mind. Some people may have a strong connection to the Queen, so we must all respect that. Those wanting a republic, I think, should wait a few weeks before provoking anything. I'm gonna go gently on you because I see you're only 19. Telling many tens of thousands of respectful, learned people who have agitated for a republic for decades to keep quiet at this time, when they have shoes older than you, is pushing your limits way too far. That right there is about as respectful as it could possibly have been. Good God, man. Ellen DeGeneres reveals the hurtful thing Elton John said to her after she came out as gay. Even Elton John said, "Shut up already, we know you're gay, be funny." Look, if there's one guy in the world that should say that to someone who's as allegedly as mean as Ellen DeGeneres, I'm glad it was Elton John. A book review. I hope I never read anything half as bad as this one. This book stunk so badly that I left it on the seat of the train as I was leaving. A woman behind me said, "Excuse me, I think you left your book." And I said, "Yeah, I kind of wanted to leave my book in hopes that someone else would come along and not hate it as much as I did. The book was long, boring, rambling, and had one plot twist that was moderately interesting, but didn't show up until about page 400 out of 450. Thanks for the spoiler. Skip it. Seriously. Spend time reading a neurobiology book or a book about the migratory habits of cranes, because that's what makes up 90% of this book anyway. The other 10% are two-dimensional characters who are whiny, needy, and dishonest. Still considering it? There's a copy on the New Jersey Transit for you somewhere. I need to figure out what this book is. Is it saying? No, it doesn't say. I need to know what this book is. Your boyfriend proposes. He says he didn't have time to save up and buy you a diamond. Instead, he makes you one out of wood and cheap gemstones. Do you say yes? Okay. No, I've settled twice for cheap rings. I want to be spoiled and deserve it. And how will you spoil a man back? Definitely not with appearance, and definitely not money-wise either. Third divorce is on the way. Good lord. Yeesh. That's a terrible portrait of the queen, and 2 kids clowning in front of it? Disrespectful. Well, Luke is 8 and James is 4. Luke has had the same default expression imposed for every single photo we've taken since he was the tiniest of tiny crotch goblins. And asking a 4-year-old to adopt a modicum of decorum is like asking a domestic cat to complete my self-assessment return. It's also a bloody excellent piece of art. Has had people queuing up and down the road for a photo, putting, is it Rockford? Is it Rockford, folks? On the map. So, with the greatest of respect, get bent. There just isn't a single critical thought behind those eyes, is there? It's the way a pigeon would look at a Rubik's Cube. Why haven't Europeans fully embraced the concept of freedom like Americans have? It's rather shocking, isn't it? Living in the UK, we have so little freedom. I only have 5 weeks annual leave, which I'm forced to use, and 8 public holidays. I'm so downtrodden to have universal health care, so I don't have to think, can I afford to go to the hospital? My dirty communist employer not only gives me 3 months sick pay at 90% pay, but because we have proper employment law, I can't be fired on a whim of management. We're so repressed, I don't even have to use a designated crossing to cross the road. Please come save us from this socialist nightmare. Yeah, it is kind of funny to think about that, isn't it? Not all the other stuff, specifically the jaywalking comment. What a weird thing. Saw this on another subreddit under a post of being kicked in the nuts hurts more than childbirth. Oh boy, okay. As a man that has witnessed his wife give birth, these two events are not even in the same category unless when you got kicked, the boot lodged itself in your taint and over several hours slowly burst through your scrotum from the back by stretching it inch by agonizing inch until your sack is 3 times its original size, sometimes getting lodged behind the bones behind your sack, and eventually the boot bursts forth, shredding and tearing everything apart, and then even though you're mangled and the first boot took everything you had, you now have to push the shoebox the boot came in past your swollen and bleeding and exposed vas deferens, and then they weigh the boot and hand you the boot and say congratulations. Yeah, I'm sorry, if there's a single man in the world that thinks that getting kicked in the balls at full strength, hell, getting kicked in the balls by a horse would still hurt less than giving birth, I promise you. Condoms are free at campus, but printing isn't. So sex is more important than our assignments? Condoms are free because sex can cause serious health issues if it's carelessly done, and can kill you as well. Lack of education won't kill you, it'll just make you compare sex to printing. Although, while the comparison is stupid, I don't know why students are nickeled and dimed every fucking step. Oh, right, it's because schools are for profit, right? They're trying to make as much money as possible, right? Never mind, let's just move on. Forget about it. Grown men really let a football match ruin their day. Grown women let zodiac signs shape their future. I mean, some do, I'm sure. All right, what do we have? Rory literally ran after this guy and asked for a photo because of his t-shirt. Oh my god, the kid didn't know we were crying with laughter at him. Did it ever occur to you that a dude in his 20s at an anime convention chasing after a 13-year-old wearing a meme shirt to take a picture with him and make fun of him is exponentially more pathetic than a 13-year-old wearing a meme shirt? Yeah, that's one of the saddest photos I've ever seen, and it's not because there is a young kid wearing something that he likes. It's probably because of the douche canoe on the right who thinks he's hot when really he's a loser for this. Or this photo could be complete bull, could be something completely different. I don't know. Maybe this is all a lie. Who knows? I wanted to return to Buckingham Palace today for some quiet reflection and lay down my own tribute. Crowds young, old, from all ethnicities and backgrounds, truly the best of British, doing her justice. Hi, Dan. I was beside you there today. Nothing says quiet reflection like doing 4 takes of that video, then directing your friend to make sure you get the shot of me praying after I lay the flowers, and checking the video after each shot. Well, you gotta get that right, don't you? DaBaby claims he was intimate with Megan Thee Stallion the day before she was allegedly shot. But what? If I had to cancel shows because I wasn't selling enough tickets to pack a McDonald's, I'd start making for attention too. Was this the guy that made an off-color AIDS joke? DaBaby? I don't know, man. What a weird name. What do you genuinely not understand? How I get taller and more handsome every time my grandma sees me. She shrinks, and her eyes get worse. Well, that's mean. Go ahead and text one of your side chicks. I know I'm better. The only side chicks I have are your other personalities. I'll see you at home. Oh, great. It's my understanding that burning alive is the worst possible pain anyone can feel. You'd be correct. I survived being completely engulfed in fire. That's just the start of your long journey into pain. The treatments are brutal, recovery is long, and if you escape without a drug addiction, then you're in a rare audience. Jesus, you're one impressive compulsive liar. According to your comments, you've been engulfed in fire and went on a long burn treatment, you've drowned, you've lived on every continent in the world, you've known and spoken to thousands of women, you've lived everywhere in the US, at age 6 you started working as a janitor, you jumped in front of a speeding car, causing an accident which ended up in a murder and a suicide, you've carefully and methodically planned a murder but stopped yourself at the last moment, you've been involved in multiple car crashes, you've been electrocuted, suffered gunshot wounds, and you nearly died in the snow. So, this person's either a crazy compulsive liar or the craziest in human history. Occam's razor, my friends. I mean, to like, which one of these is more realistic? You know what? You get it. Wait, is that Occam's razor? I don't know. Same. I can read a 500-page book in 30 minutes. Mostly because long paragraphs that are not spaced correctly make my eyes sore. You can't read a 500-page book in 30 minutes unless it's a picture book. The average wide-spaced novel has 250 words per page, meaning you're reading 125,000 words in 30 minutes. Or 4,167 words per minute. The average reading speed is 300 words per minute, with faster readers reaching 700 words per minute. Neuroscientists say that claims of reading up to 1,000 words per minute must be viewed with skepticism, so basically, you're a massive liar. To an extreme extent. Part 2, Bro gets back up and knocks the 11 secret herbs and spices out of Steven. God, I hate Steven Seagal. Well, after 20 minutes of not being acknowledged, I left. Too bad I won't get to try this place. No menus? Come on, have a waiter that gives you a menu. That way you have customers. That way you know you have customers. What the hell? And why should have my phone no go? That fell apart quick, I gotta say. It's Labor Day weekend and this review is so full of lies. I'll take the time to stand up for our staff. You were in the bar for 10.5 minutes total. I have a time-stamped video, which I'm happy to post here or upload to YouTube. You go to the bar, Jen greets you and explains how our ordering system works, and for 2 minutes, that goes on. You seemed annoyed, so she immediately walked out from behind the bar to check in with you at your table in the venue room. Less than 4 minutes later, Micah, our food runner, checks on you. You leave 2 minutes later. It's okay if you don't like ordering at the bar or that we have an online menu, but you don't need to lie about our hardworking staff. Shame on you. It's also incredibly ironic that you used your phone to write a review about how you don't want to or have to use your phone. If this is your life, I feel really bad for you, and I hope you can make a positive change for a less abysmal existence. I would invite you to come back for brunch when we have servers and full service, but I have too much respect for my staff. Please stay away if this is your usual behavior. If you're having menu problems, I feel bad for you, son. I got 99 problems, but a staff ain't one. Your education level? Sophomore in college. LOL, that better be a joke. You're a joke. You're a sophomore dropout and I'm a data scientist. Any high schooler can make out the difference. I just started college because I was in the military for 6 years. You're a loser. Good luck. Yeah, you dodged the big bullet bills in Super Mario World? You know, the big ones that would cover like half the screen? That is the bullet that my guy here just dodged. How disrespectful and shitty can one person be? You know, going on Tinder is awful enough for 95% of the people involved. All parties are having a bad time on that app. But if you're this type of person, this is what you're doing when you're going on there, good friggin' luck out there. I wish you nothing but failure on that quest, because you deserve it. I mean, come on. Sorry, it stings when I see people mistreated in such a specific way. I need a drink. Okay, that one's not water, it's Pepsi, so just don't even. Okay, you can't judge me. Prepare for flooding. For current warnings, visit emergency.wa.gov.au. More left-wing propaganda. Unsure if the water's flowing more from the right or the left, but significant stream rises are expected. Even if it's a joke, it's such a lame goddamn. Can you imagine? Can you imagine that? It's like getting a hurricane evacuation warning. And you're like, oh, I'm not trusting them man. No, sir. No, sir at all. I really, really hope no one actually says these things and puts themselves in danger, but you never know these days, dude. Oh boy, what do we have here? Pharmacy struggling to keep ADHD prescriptions in stock. Why are we giving children legal speed? Chad, Adderall does help. You were on it. Oh, commenter's mom coming in with the haha, suck it. Oh, here we go, Kevin Sorbo again. I'm gonna read the tweet one more time, all right? So my body, my choice, except for when it comes to student loan debt, that's when someone else should step in? Point to the place on your body where the student loans are. Kevin Sorbo is not exactly the smartest man around, and he proves it a lot. He's so not smart. He should run for government office here in the United States. I'm sure he'd win instantly. Oh, great. Today's great sadness is watching God-denying 39-year-old intentionally single childless women who don't realize that their pursuit of self is going to leave them lonely in old age with no progeny, no joy of motherhood, and a total sense of emptiness in their twilight years. Dale, she said no. Therapy might be a better way to process your resentment. Yeah, that tweet had "I never have sex" written all over it. What a weird way to say I don't get any. You know what I mean? Millennials who are very cavalier about not having children are in for a shock when they enter their 40s and realize life is only half over. What do you do at that point? Keep trying to be sexy and have fun? I expect to see a lot of sadness and confusion about what to do at that point. Sorry you have to have a child so someone is forced to hang out with you, bro. Hope things improve for you. Man, that tweet bothers me in a different way. How dare you think I'm trying to be sexy and have fun? You think I won't be able to do that in my 40s like I'm doing now? Kiss my big ass. Truly appalled, picked up my new passport today. My old one expires in the next couple of months. See below and spot the difference. Good to know I need to renew and can't wait to get that cancerous title off my passport. Afraid your name still needs to be on there. Oh no. Two men will never become one flesh. Then you're doing it wrong, Tim. Try to breathe deeply and relax into it. Is this a reverend? Is that a reverend? It is, it's Reverend Daniel. Reverend Daniel, that's just great, man. Weird. That looks like an asshole. Turn your monitor on. Jesus Christ, why murder a man? It's 9 a.m. Hey, Empire State Building. It's easier to click New York Giants colors, and that will do. Wait, what? Okay. I have twice as many floors as you do wins. Oh, sheesh. You. That's so nice of you. And when did your dad come home with the milk? I don't blame him for leaving such a failed child that just learned a new word. Well, if he's so failed, how'd he learn a new word?